You know, this would be a really good song for a fashion show. Oh, yeah, I happen to know of one coming up. Minnesota Fashion Weekend. It is the first ever. You know, in New York, they have Fashion Week. There's tents in Central Park. I think it's Central Park. Everything is so beautiful. There's models. It's super glam. There's shows everywhere. There's celebrities right, against the stage. It's very, very exciting and very she, by the way. Well, my friends, it's coming to Minnesota. We are having our first ever fashion weekend. The creator and organizer, Iyamba, has the whole skinny on Minnesota Fashion Weekend. Welcome to the show, love.
Hi, Jordana. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited listening to you talk about it.
This is super exciting. I mean, I'm reading all about it. This is the first ever, so I can't really imagine what it's going to look like. But we're talking tents in Bryant Park. I mean, explain to me what's happening.
Well, basically what we're doing is we are creating an experience like no other experience that Minnesota's ever been a part of. Like you mentioned, it's all about tenting. We're taking over the West End Mall, and we're, in St. Louis Park, and we're creating tents in a design atmosphere, and we want everyone to come out there and enjoy themselves and see what Minnesota fashion is all about.
So like New York, there are going to be fashion shows, local designers. Can we buy? I mean, what are we going to see?
Yes, so the show consists of we have 39 Minnesota companies that are involved. And just to let you know, it's all about Minnesota designers, Minnesota boutiques, and Minnesota companies. We have such designers as Emma Berg, Christopher Straub, Hackworth Design House that will be showing. We'll also be pulling clothes from local boutiques such as Arrow, Stephanie's in St. Paul, Jaime's Haberdashery. So we're basically creating a high production event, showcasing it in a tent atmosphere for Minnesotans to come out and enjoy, shop afterwards. And we were creating a marketplace on Saturday.
I love that.
From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Because, Jordana, what we really want to make sure we do is that, we let our customers know that we want to get intimidation out of the whole fashion thing.
Mm-hmm.
We want the casual fashion fan to the trendiest fashionista to come out and experience what we have going on.
Yeah, I mean, in reading all about it, we're talking about VIPs, cocktails. I mean, and again, you're trying to take the intimidation out of it, but this sounds like a fun, classy event.
It's very fun and classy, but at the same time, you can show up in a pair of jeans and rock it out with a T-shirt. Yeah. It's going to be fall, so you have to be a little warmer than that. You can get all glammed up and show up to the event. But at the same time, this is all about Minnesota designers and Minnesota companies. So the whole idea is that we want to showcase and recognize all the talent that we have here in our home backyard. So we set up what we call the Minnesota Marketplace. That takes place on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're showing about 39 Minnesota companies. We'll have 4 food trucks out there, and it's free and open to the public.
I can't wait to go. It's
happening.
It
doesn't get any cooler than that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's happening September 19th and 20th. Excuse me. Eni, tell me a little bit about you. You're a former model, and do you have a boutique of your own now, sir?
I do not. And, the former model thing was, a luck of the draw. I got into that for a little bit. But I've always felt that, you take one step from, that's it's the opportunity to step, from one thing to another. So being a model was great. I owned my own boutiques, Ivy and Ivy Men's, in 2005, and I shut them down in 2010. But I've always felt going to New York and traveling for the stores that we've had the opportunity to really represent Minnesota, because everyone thinks that we live in this cold climate, which we do, but we don't know anything about fashion. And so when this opportunity came up, I wanted to showcase Minnesota talent. I wanted to bring the design and fashion community together so we're much more inclusive and succinct in our approach, so we can really create a Minnesota Fashion Week that's going to garner national attention.
Now, is it just for us here, or are you expecting a presence from some of the coastal cities to check out our Minnesota designers?
Well, I think that's one of the goals eventually. I have to learn. We have to learn how to walk before we run.
Yeah.
So this year, it's really all about introducing ourselves to our fashion and design community. Again, it's all about the experience. No one's really ever, created an event in the caliber that we're doing it. We are putting huge tents out. Capacity about 500 people for Friday night, 500 people for Saturday night as well. So we're really saying we're coming in, introducing ourselves as the event to go to, event to be a part of, and hopefully an event that's going to bring the fashion design community together, and so that we can do it even bigger. So, instead of a weekend, we eventually want to get to a part where we're doing it for a week. And I think once we get there, that's when we'll really start to see that the rest of the the East Coast, the West Coast, even Chicago, people will take notice and say, something special is going on in Minnesota.
Well, good for you. This is a huge undertaking, and I love fashion, so I'm very excited about this event. I'm happy to support the local designers. September 19th and 20th, the first annual MN4MN Fashion Weekend. Iyamba, I so appreciate, organizer and creator of the event. I so appreciate you talking to us on the show, and I look forward to meeting you there, sir.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for having me on, and just want to let everyone know that you can go to MinnesotaForMinnesota.com to learn more and buy your tickets. Don't wait any longer. Tickets are flying off the shelves, and Jordana, I can't wait to meet you and show you around the tent and introduce you to the Minnesota designers.
You got it. Well, I look forward to it, and thanks again for doing this because it brings a lot of cachet to our cities, and it's going to be really fun.
Thank you so much again, and thanks for having me.
You got it. Ini, have a great night.